Try to be quick today because the day is fast spent. This week, we promise that every week we do specific events. I will start our governors. The integrity group said yesterday that the window of reconciliation has not been shut permanently. Any problem? Oh, okay. So that is a bit of good news for us. We've been at it for some time, trying to see how we can bring everybody under this same umbrella. And so, because I remember that last week there were questions to it, what are we doing about bringing those who are aggrieved together? So hopefully in the next couple of days and weeks, all of us will be able to work as one family. PDP is the biggest political family in Africa, and we want it to remain so. Also today, I will say on a sad note, I started with the good news. Yesterday we were attacked in Borno State. We've been attacked in Kaduna, and it's so unfortunate because there was a peace accord that was signed by all the presidential candidates. Okay, I would say by most, because I think a few were absent at that signing ceremony. We don't know why. So we plan to report formally to the security authorities. We plan to report to the Peace Commission, because democracy is not by force. It's a game of choice. So if I choose to support my candidate, there shouldn't be any problem about that. So firing Dane guns, throwing stones, and all manner of weapons, for me, is a very unfortunate development. So we hope that you'll be able to help us send the message across to the authorities that PDP is worried. My heart goes out to one of our colleagues, Mary Chinda of Arise News, who sustained injury. In fact, I've just seen an X-ray of her arm, so I hope nothing serious happened to her because she fell in the process of that attack yesterday. I saw that the police, PRO or someone, denied that any of such thing did not happen. Unfortunately, we had our own colleague to show what happened. So we're appealing to you to help us make sure that all the big people in Nigeria can see what PDP is going through. It's obvious that the other parties can see that Atiku Abubakar, GCON, is the leading candidate and is going to win the next election. Otherwise, why are they jittery? We don't have any problem at all. You can see that we have done 4 states already, and all the 4 states recorded resounding successes. So we will continue to campaign in every part of Nigeria. For PDP, it's a carnival of ideas. It is not a carnival of war. So we will continue to campaign vigorously, rigorously. Any candidate who can match that should also go ahead and do his own. So that is what I would like to speak to you about. And if you have questions, fortunately today is Thursday, so by now I'm sure maybe you would have assembled a lot of questions for me. Thank you.
So I'll start 5 governors talking about the...
You know, we lost the son of our great leader, Senator David Mark. May God bless Tunde's soul. I was there to commiserate with him yesterday evening, and also our candidate visited the family last night. So as we speak, I'm sure the national chairman should be in Benue State. They come from the same state. He's extremely busy at the moment, but definitely he has not stepped down. And I don't want to comment further on that, but I know he has not stepped down because yesterday I went to see him to seek approval for some of the things we were working on. And he's in very excellent spirits. You know, he was in the media himself. So I went to consult him on some media issues. And if you go on my Instagram page, you would have seen our picture together. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you. My name is Tony.
When we say we are going to make a formal report, it's not that it has not been reported, but now we have a director of security in the Atiku campaign organization. So the director, as I speak to you, they are compiling evidence of what happened. You can't just go to the police and say, oh, I was attacked. Where is the evidence? So we're doing that. So when we do that, we also send the same evidence to the Peace Commission so that they can see that, hey, these people are threatening the peace of fellow Nigerians. So that's what we mean by the formal report. We're collating that at the moment. On the issue of our governors, what I feel is going on is that the peace effort initiated by our candidate is beginning to yield fruits. Anyone who knows our candidate, Atiku Abubakar, will tell you that he's a man of peace. He's a man of very few words. If you abuse him, he will never trade words with anybody. Remember, he traveled all the way to London to meet with these governors. He had dinner with them. Anybody who doesn't want peace will not do that. He's been insulted publicly. He has never responded to anybody. He is a man who wants every member of PDP to stand proudly with him. So that is what has happened. I believe that the governors themselves can see that the candidate is very serious about bringing everyone on board, and we're happy. You see, a family cannot fight for life. Husband and wife can separate, but eventually they may still come back. And in this case, this family will come back. Thank you. We campaigned in Edo, and I was there, and nobody stopped us from campaigning. And it was a massive rally in Edo. I'm proudly from Edo, even if I didn't grow up there. I was born in Ile-Ife. But I had to go to Edo to see things for myself. The factions will definitely come together. I have no doubt about that. And I don't know, maybe he will speak to that later. On the issue of we're broke, I don't know how any party that is broke will charter planes to everywhere you go. They've never asked anybody to travel by road. You know how much it costs to send people on private charter. You say no advert. AIT will never complain about no advert. You know why? There is no rally we have done that I have not personally approved live broadcasts to AIT. So, if what I'm saying is we have been paying our bills, we are not owing any media organization. Some people can come and use their influence to owe you. We know how difficult the media business is, okay? And I'm a media practitioner myself. So we make sure we pay even before we go for any show. Nobody can say, oh, we say, okay, when we come back. So if we are broke, we won't do that. We do at least 2 live broadcasts. Now, look at what it will cost, the paraphernalia, all the T-shirts, all the face caps, and all that. Abba, don't forget that this, this campaign is probably the longest campaign in the history of Nigeria. I participated in the Abiola campaign. We went to Jos in March for the primary, and June 12th, so that's just like within 2-3 months, the election was done with. This one, you have November, we started from October, because I joined in October and they had already started. October, November, December, January, February. If you misspend money, you will burn out. So what we are doing is that now we have at the advantage of 4 states already. For anybody to catch up, the person will sweat. Trust me, the person will sweat. I know what it costs to run a campaign. You can check with the other parties. Which other party has this kind of organization? To maintain this building, I mean, our candidate was here 2 nights ago. We had a major meeting in this building. This is 4 floors plus basement, with elevators, with everything. And this is not the only office. You have the legacy, you have Wadata, then you have his own private offices. He's been to Washington and back, been to Paris and back, meeting with world leaders. I mean, you can't have a better campaign than that. Atiku is the most prepared, the most experienced. There is nothing anybody can say about it. He is the next president of Nigeria by the grace of God. Thank you.
Excuse me, I just want to ask.
Abubakar is not a candidate who will run away. You can see him yesterday. He was in his spirit. He was dancing. He was happy despite the attacks. That is the hallmark of a great leader. We have a leader who is not afraid to do what he needs to do. We will never fight back. If you want to fight back, I mean, look at the crowd yesterday now. All you needed to do was to order them to, but never, we will never do that. Because that is not who our candidate is. It is not in his character to fight those who fight him. He's been one of the most maligned leaders in the history of Nigeria. He has never fought back. Even when his boss spoke about him, that is why people continue to regurgitate those things, because he didn't say a word. It's what we call Omoluabi in Yoruba. Omoluabi is someone with a good character, with an excellent character, well brought up, to respect his superiors, to respect his neighbors, to respect his friends. That's who he is.
I have a question, sir. Maybe just to seek your perspective. In the last few days.
Yeah. And since it's a legal matter, I would not want to make a wrong statement or judgment. I'm also not a judge, but I know that our party and our campaign office, we have mandated people to study the case so that they can know how to respond to it. So I cannot speak about it. It is a very, very sensitive case. Anything to do with drug is not an easy case. I know I've seen it in the past, and we are seeing it again. I don't know why it suddenly resurfaced. About 2 days ago was when some people started bombarding our phones with it. We are sober enough. We respect the rights of other candidates, so we're not going to malign them for political reasons. And don't forget that our candidates and Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they've been friends for so many years. They've been friends, colleagues, political colleagues. And he's also my own friend and brother. So I won't, because of politics, come here and be drug. It's not an easy thing. So I will plead that you leave us out of it for now. Those who know how to deal with it, maybe our legal team would advise us on what to do. I can respond also to Festus Keyamo's explanation yesterday. That is his job. His job, just the same way I would defend my own boss. So that is his job. to defend Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Thank you. Yes, sir. Let's just listen to one or two of my own colleagues here. Also, please.
My Oga wants me to respond to my to my brother. You asked two specific questions. You asked about campaign financing, and then you asked about the factions in the states. Most of you will recognize and realize that Atiku is a statesman. Even when he was responding to his request, even when he was responding to requests that he intervened in the removal of IU, if you remember, he said he's a respecter of the law and of the Constitution. One of the things that is sort of like limiting us now is the new Electoral Act. I think Section 88(2) says the limit campaign financing that you can spend on a presidential campaign is about 5 billion naira. So we have almost 6 months, and we have to spread out that 5 billion naira. There are some candidates that will ignore this limit. There are some candidates that I hear have trillions that will give you money in the media. I see their ads running day and night. And you also have a responsibility as members of the press to look at our laws and hold candidates and parties to account when they are in blatant violation of these laws. We will respect the laws. We are not broke. We will spend according to the Electoral Act. I think also you see, I think it's 88(8) that says a candidate or an individual can only donate about 50 million naira or, to a presidential campaign or the rest. And we've seen people violate this thing, but again, the media doesn't put it up and out. What we are doing as a campaign is we are cataloging all these offenses, and we are going to, like Egbon Dele Momodu said, approach the police and also approach INEC, because they also have a responsibility under the Act to prosecute violators of the Act. And so that's the response. We're not broke, we're just law-abiding. The second thing, on the factions in Edo State, and this is even to the global issue of the factions within the party and the G5 governors. Nobody has a problem with the presidential candidate, His Excellency Atiku. In Edo State particularly, as you know, it's a tussle between the governor and Dan Obi. That has no bearing or business with our determination in the state as a PDP to work and support Atiku's candidacy. So we are doing that. I myself was also in the rally in Edo State. I don't know if you were there. It was, the turnout was massive. And all factions, because I'll admit that there are factions, all factions are not only working together to deliver Atiku Abubakar's candidacy, but we are also talking within ourselves to resolve this crisis within the state. Thank you very much.
See you next week by the grace of God. Thank you.